There are two things I find really challenging in this world. The first is Christmas, and the second are cats. I know. It's challenging. I'm also allergic to gluten and dairy. Tread lightly.
Heckling. Sorry, heckling.
Get a sponsor, it's cool. Which means I can't say anything about it.
I love you.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm no longer single, but when I was single, and in my 30s, the only thing I could do was kind of crash my married sister's in-laws because I had nowhere else to go. So one year I was like, maybe I'll just stay, where I was living at the time in Portland, and I recently started dating someone. I was like, well, I'll just stay with him and see how that goes because my family can be a little challenging. I do love you guys, but they can be challenging. And my sister has these 3 cats. And I'm really allergic to cats. Like, I wind up in hospitals if they come anywhere near me. And somehow they like to come and just, like, tap dance on my eyeballs. Like, seriously. Like, I go to sleep and they're just like, hey. Fuck you. So she got these 2 cats. They were sisters. And she's like, hey, do you want to watch my cats while I'm away for Christmas? And I was like, no, I really don't. She's like, well, what if you watch it every other day? And I was like, you mean I'm going to tag team watching your cats? Perfect, fine. I can handle every other day, these cats. And like, 2 of the cats are sisters, and one is this stray that they just took on. And this stray cat is kind of this grumpy old man cat. And he's really afraid of dogs. And one time my brother-in-law's sister brought her dogs over and he jumped on my brother-in-law's face. But used his claws to hold on. I'm laughing, I didn't even see it happen. So my brother-in-law was trying to rip the cat off. The cat's just yeah, then they decided the cat couldn't come inside anymore. Anyway, grumpy man cat. The other 2 sisters, one of them, I hear people put their pets on Prozac, but I really don't understand until, I met one of these cats. One of the sisters would do this snooty thing where she'd, walk up and be like, oh, you should pet me, and then you go down to reach to pet her, not me. Great, because I don't touch cats. And then she'd be like, no, I'm too good for that. And then she'll walk over to her sister and, take her paw and start, patty caking her head into the wall. So you want me to watch the 3 psychotic cats that I can't even touch because I'm allergic to them? Fine, whatever. So it's the week before Christmas. Well, it's the week that Christmas is gonna happen. It's that Monday. So I go and I check on the cats, and it's kind of weird because they're all sitting in the living room together, which they don't ever do. So there's Butch the cat, that's not supposed to be in the house because he's a grumpy old cat, is sitting on this little puffball thing. It's weird. And then this other cat is sitting on the futon, all loungy. And I walk in and they're staring at me. And I'm like, that's creepy. I don't know what your cats are doing. Fine. And so I go and I try to hunt down the 3rd one. And I put some food in their dish and some water. And I can't find that 3rd cat. And I was like, well, I don't like you anyway, so that's fine. So I left. Right? I didn't think anything about it. And then the other guy comes the next day. And then I go back. And I think it was it was Christmas Eve. I go back on Christmas Eve. It's my 2nd day. And I walk in and the cats haven't moved. The 2 cats haven't moved. And I'm like, fuck, I know this is bad. And it's totally going to happen on my watch when I'm trying to avoid anything to do with Christmas because it's usually traumatic, right? So I go around the house slowly, not knowing what I'm going to find. The last room I check is their bedroom. And lo and behold, find the really bad cat dead. Right? I should feel bad about it. So then I look down at the phone. I feel bad, but not the way maybe you should feel bad. So I looked down at my phone and I was supposed to meet the new boy at 8, and it was 10 to 8. And I go to call him and my phone dies. I'm when you have a cell phone, why bother memorizing things? That's just what, older people do. So whatever, I don't have his number, right? Phone dies. The only number I can remember is my dad's number because I've known it for all my 35 years. So I get on the phone, I call my dad, and I'm just hysterical because I know my sister's gonna be upset, not necessarily because it's the bad cat that died. The only thing is now I'm just it's Christmas Eve and I have to deal with this dead cat body. That sucks. So I call my dad and I'm crying. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Christmas Eve. Her cat died of my watch. She's never going to ask me to ask them again, which is kind of good. I don't want to watch this cat anyway. The cat died. So he's like, oh my God. And my dad's way more dramatic than I am. So he's like crying. And I'm crying. And I'm like, why, Dad? Why can't you be the one that doesn't cry sometimes? So then he calls my sister. And then she calls me back on her home line crying. So now, like, I'm crying, my dad's crying, she's crying. And I'm like, well, what do I do? Do I call the police? Like, what do I do about it? I had no idea. And so I was like, do you call the vet? She's like, no, Heather, you have to bury it. I was like, I didn't fucking sign up to bury a cat on Christmas. Are you kidding me? It's like 8. It's dark out. Fuck, you want what? It starts raining. A date? What? So then she's like, all right, you know where Chris is, it's my brother-in-law, you know where his headlamp is? And I was like, where's the fucking headlamp? So I go and I look for the headlamp, and then she's explaining to me that I have to bury the cat deep enough that the children don't find it, because she's got 3 little kids, and apparently they like to dig in dirt. They're in Portland, they're all gardeners. They dig for everything. They like kiss earthworms. Hippies. And I'm like, fine, all right. So I go down, I steal their like kitchen gloves, and I'm like, find the headlamp, and I'm gearing up, and I'm still in the house, and the cat's still laying next to this really big pool of blood. And the cat, how many people have really found a dead cat before? Maybe some of you? No? Okay, well, there's rigor mortis, right? So the cat may have been like this big, and now it's like this big. And it doesn't bend. So I'm like, this cat's now like 6 feet tall. So I'm like, well, she's like, well, get a shoebox. And I was like, it's not gonna fit. She's like, no, just go get my shoebox. And my sister's got like, tiny feet. And I'm like, it's not gonna fit. So I go and I get the shoebox, and I'm on the phone. I have the shoebox, the cat's on the ground, and I'm just like, it covers its paw. She's like, I don't care, just grab a box. So I go and I find this like Legoland box, right? Put on the gloves, got the headlamp on, just like pick up the cat in the box. And like the box, well, the cat's like this outside the box, right? So the arms are sticking out of this box. The whole box comes up to like here. It's like 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And she's like, you know what, Heather? I hate to say this, but I'm so glad it happened to you. That makes me feel so much better. And I'm like, yeah, right, I'll call you back later. So then I go outside, and I'm just like, this tree looks great. So I start digging this hole. I have a headlamp on, it's dark. Nobody's in the house is dark. I'm like, God, the neighbors are gonna look out, they're gonna like, it's the Burbs, and there's Tom Hanks digging like dead cat bodies in this basement. And I'm like cussing because I wish I was like the angel sister, but I'm like, motherfucker, what the fuck am I doing? Like, fuck you for dying. Fuck you. So then every so often I can't really see in the hole, so I'm like putting my leg in there to be like, how did you open up yet? So then it's finally deep enough. So then I pick up the box and I hold the box over the hole, and it's not wide enough. And I'm just like, standing there with the box being like, fuck. And then the cat falls through the bottom. I'm like, finally, some prayers are answered.